I mean, I think that's really interesting because it is kind of now is a good time to reflect on where exactly you see, as a Republican, your party going, because we have these first 100 days of Trump. And as you said, the major difference between Trump 1.0 versus Trump 2.0 is the people that he's surrounding himself with. Before it was all Republicans. Now it seems more yes men, more people who are sycophantic to what he wants, more people that aren't going to say what he doesn't want to hear. Do you think that's a true characterization? And what does this mean for the future of your party?
I think it is, and I don't think it's helpful. I think you and I have talked about it before. I mean, Trump is a very unique character, and he has gotten this fan base essentially of people who really like him. But Trumpism doesn't necessarily work for other people. We've seen other people try. Vivek is the first person who comes to mind, and people were pretty turned off by him, right? And I don't think he's going to be all that successful in Ohio. And so it can work in this moment, and maybe it'll work a little bit longer than that. But if you're unwilling to bring in people who are going to have that pushback, and only doing, press secretary briefings to the special media people who are the influencers, which is crazy, by the way, a couple times a week as opposed to the normal press briefings, right? Like it almost feels like state-run media. And I hate to think of that because First Amendment right to freedom of speech and like freedom of the press is so important here. So I would love to see more of that. Even if CNN or AP or whatever is doing a bad story on you, at least let them get it out there and don't bar them. I think like the way that he might have to the AP, or at least there's conversations about it. I don't recall what the final verdict was on that. But I don't think it's helpful, because here's the thing. Right now, it's easy to be surrounded by like-minded people. I think Democrats are still in disarray, but they're not going to be in disarray forever. And they are going to get it back together at some point. I'm not saying it's tomorrow necessarily, but it's better for us to have lots of options out there rather than be so to pigeonhole ourselves into just one specific arena and then let Democrats essentially take over everything else that's left over. Because what he's focusing in on is such a small percentage compared to the entire population, I think.
And I think something we saw in the last election is that voters will turn on you if they feel that the economy is going down a path they don't want it to go down. And based on the numbers, based on the economy shrinking, based on economists saying tariffs will have your prices increase, your disposable income go down, that seems the way the economy's heading. So we have a lot of conversations in store, I am sure, and I hope we can talk sometime soon. Brittany Martinez, thank you for joining me.
Anytime. Thanks for having me.